Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. Sagittarius, oh, I split the deck and I got the Five of Wands. Here we go with the drama. Sorry, Sag, if you're dealing with drama, this reading might resonate with you. All right, here we go. Sagittarius, if this reading resonates, please like and or subscribe. If you feel comfortable to describe how it resonates, please leave a comment. And if you want to book a personal service, I will be pinning my website, okay? Let's see what's going on with Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I feel like you have a theme song with me down from months ago. Every time I start shuffling with you, I get notorious we are. Oh my God. What's going on with Sag? First card is the strongest. You got the Tower. Jesus, Sagittarius. It's like everything is crumbling down. You're going through a Tower moment, a shakeup in very unexpected ways. But on the plus side, yeah, you're trying to accept it, you know? Let's see what's going on with Sagittarius. The Hierophant. You are protected. You are guided. You've been receiving messages. So you're not alone. You have a spiritual confirmation. You have a spiritual 1011. I just got a notification at 1011. Look up 1011. I'll look up 1011. Hold on. 1011 angel number. Yeah, you have somebody watching over you here. Angel number 1011 signifies personal growth, spiritual awakening, and new beginnings. Yep, it suggests that you are on the right path and encourages you to embrace positive changes, trust your intuition, and take proactive steps towards your goals. This number also highlights the importance of positive thinking and self-belief in manifesting your desires. Okay, so again, you got the Tower. So what's interesting for you, Sag, is that this is a blessing in disguise, right? This shakeup is a blessing in disguise. Confirmation. Let's get more for Sagittarius. We have the Six of Wands. I love this energy. You have a lot of eyes on you, Sagittarius. So some of you could be getting promoted. Some of you could be graduating. Well, what month are we in? Oh, we're in well, maybe this is a graduating year for some of you. Some of you are in positions of power, but you do have the Six of Wands, which means that you had the Five of Wands before, which is what I split before I started shuffling. So you're getting through something here, but it's not without the help of spirit. So I want you to understand this. You're dealing with something huge, which was also possibly caused by spirit. That's why they're with you, because something here was false to begin with. Something here needs to come to light. It's almost like, hey, Sagittarius, we're going to have to sacrifice you in order to sacrifice somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like they had to tear you down with this person just so that they can just tear it all apart together. So I almost feel sad. What I'm getting here is like, it wasn't a direct attack towards you, although you felt it. But it's like they couldn't do this without having you sacrificed in it. You know what I mean, Sag? Because you end up winning in the end. You end up victorious. Yeah, Six of Pentacles. You end up favored here. Let's see what else is going on here for Sagittarius. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse. This is higher. This is bigger than you, Sag. This is way bigger than you. This is almost like global. I'm pretty sure many people can resonate to this energy. Last card, Ten of Wands. And that's your energy, by the way, Sagittarius. You see the little symbol? You're holding on. You're ending a cycle at the 10. That's the 10. You're ending a cycle while you wait for something to move. So if you know what I feel, Sagittarius? It almost could feel like bad luck, like bad karma, because you're getting hit with this Tower, which feels very global to me. Also very guided by spirit. You come across as winning in the end, but at the moment, universally, spiritually, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like you're holding on and holding on and holding on, not knowing when it's going to let up. So the spirit wants you to know it's going to let up quite soon. There's a reason for this stagnancy. Let's look more into this. What's the reason for the stagnancy? What is the reason for the stagnancy? High Priestess reverse. What is the reason for the stagnancy? This is a spiritual battle. This is definitely a spiritual battle for some of you. What is the reason for the stagnancy? The Moon card. Yep, I told you. There's a spiritual battle here. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Well, there could be a Queen of Wands. High Priestess reverse with the Moon card. This is like dark magic. This is a dark witch with the Page of Swords in reverse. A spy. So Sag, I think this, you know, in your present life, right? You might feel like you're overwhelmed with work responsibility. I would say high blood pressure. You know, this is like intense energy. It just feels like you're just walking on this desert without water. And you know, you're seeing mirages, you know, like you're just trapped, right? That's how it may come across for you in your world, where you feel like there's chaos around you and even in your life, but all you can do is hold on. And I just envision somebody holding on to a pole and there's winds. So I don't know what that means. Maybe there's a weather thing coming in, but I see like winds and you're trying to hold on and you know, you don't know how long you could hold on and you don't understand why is this all happening. I really do feel, Sagittarius, that this is something that the collective is feeling, but it's hitting you very heavy. And it has to do with dark energy. This feels like a very strong spiritual battle. We have the Hierophant and we have the High Priestess. That's the husband and wife of the let's say priest and priestesses, right? But the priestess, the wife aspect of this, she's dark. There's a lot of black magic going on. There's a lot of manipulation and energy. Let's get something going on here. It almost feels like I said, I feel like you're one person, there's another person with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like both of you had to get blasted out. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody has to go through this chaos because for some reason it couldn't happen any other way, right? Let me get some tea on this, Spirit. What is this Tower? What is this Tower? Projection. Pointing out the actions of somebody else, but really they are the things that you do. So there's projection going on here. A blame game going on here. What's going on with the Tower? Distorted feminine, like I said, Sag. The High Priestess is masculine. He's like the priest, right? The High Priestess down below is in reverse. The feminine aspect, she's distorted. So there's a distorted feminine. It says fear of conflict or hypersensitive or rejection of rationality or too receptive or waiting for things to happen. So this really does feel very spiritual to me. And if it's not like a spiritual, I'm gonna say spiritual battle, because this is supposed to help you to connect to your higher self more, to connect to your intuition more, to understand why is this happening, right? Rather than just going through the motions. Why? What am I supposed to learn from this situation? What's going on with the High Priestess, Spirit? Hold on. What's going on with the High Priestess in reverse? Let me get a T card on that. What's the High Priestess in reverse? Cancerian energy, parent. One's sense of security, family, siblings, parents, ancestry, heritage, roots, one's housing and comfort is the High Priestess in reverse. Let's get one more. And what's interesting is that the High Priestess shows a Cancerian symbol. I always considered High Priestess as a Pisces, but in this deck, it's Cancer, which is interesting because I clarified it and there's a Cancer again. So this has to do with, it could be a family member or a Cancerian placement. Or, again, past life. Let's get the High Priestess, Spirit. Acting a fool. Someone who knows they're being childish and goofy but doesn't care when the situation calls for maturity. Somebody here with the High Priestess reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse can manipulate information. They can use their esoteric knowledge to manipulate others. Or they could be trying to tap into divination and they're not understanding what they're receiving. They're misunderstanding what the message is, causing the feeling of either miscommunication or stagnation. Again, could have to do with this projection energy. Let's get that moon card. It almost makes me feel like there's somebody here that is becoming disconnected from their psychic abilities because they have misused it or they have not honed in on it. What is the moon card? For the clout. So moon card is hidden agendas, but it's also the subconscious that starts to rise. And what is the subconscious and what is the mystery? The clout. Doing it all for the fame, attention, for the views, doesn't want to be left alone and being fake. Somebody here is wearing a mask. So for some, it's a subconscious thing where somebody is, you know, they got hidden agendas for attention. Yeah, look, sabotage, hidden energy. This is a chain that somebody has to break off from themselves. So I do feel like there's a trigger here happening based off of a connection with the tower here. Okay? Distorted feminine, projecting, sabotaging for the clout. So it's almost like me, attention, attention. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, Sagittarius. And you tell me how this fits, right? When you have the moon card, this is not known. It's not like it's in your face. This is your subconscious. This is when these emotions start to rise. And like, oh my God, I'm so emotional and I don't understand where it's coming from. This is where shadow work comes in. But instead, we misunderstand this with the high priestess in reverse. We get very emotional instead of trying to really tap in. Then we overthink with the page of swords in reverse. And you know what I'm saying? Like, this is projection. And that, like I said, I feel like this is a collective message. So here's for the collective. Stop projecting. Stop pointing the fingers at other people and point it at yourself first. When you're triggered, why are you being triggered? Is it something that is unhealed within yourself? Or is the person you're dealing with truly an asshole? Right? So Spirit is saying everybody is going to detention hall. Let's put it that way. Do you end up victorious in the end, Sagittarius? Yes, I do see there's a victory here after the battle. There is. But you know what? There's a lesson in your subconscious, your fears, your emotions, the ones that are buried deep down. Look at hidden energy, narcissists. Inflated sense of self-importance, complete disregard for another's feelings, always needing attention. Who is this person that always needs validation? And why? There's a lot of pride in this energy with that Six of Wands. And you know what I just got, Sagittarius? And let me know how it fits. This sense of pride comes from having to work so damn hard. It's almost like I deserve accolades. I deserve respect. I deserve because I work so hard to get to where I am. You know, it's almost like a pride that's like not a humble pride. You know, it kind of feels almost vain. Interesting energy, distorted feminine projection. I don't know who needs to hear this. I'm sorry, guys. Please don't get triggered. But you know what, Sagittarius? You're a freaking blunt sign. You could take it. Somebody here believes that they deserve respect, accolades, a tap on the back, a lot of attention because they've struggled and they never gave up. But here's the news, right? Many of us struggle and don't give up. But we don't need external validation. You know what I'm saying? There's something about that here. And I think you're going to start feeling this when those emotions start to rise and those triggers start to rise and the projection starts to happen. Why is there projection happening? Let's get on that 10 of wands and the moon. 10 of wands. Cloud 9. Somebody here has an addiction. Always under herbal influence. Cloud 9 or addiction. Somebody here is doing too much of something. They're not thinking clearly. What is a 10 of wands? Somebody has an addiction. We have toxic connection. Like I said, there's toxicity here. Their relationship involves constant fighting on thin ice with each other, but trying to maintain the relationship. Who do you have to... Okay, here's the thing. Cloud 9 and toxic relationship. Is there addictions involved causing the toxicity? Does the person bring out toxicity? 10 of wands. This is a very interesting reading. Okay, let's do this, Sag, because I've been here 14 minutes. I think you need to hear a message. I want to know what the shadow is. I want to know what the shadow's being projected with this tower I'm going to call you out, Sagittarius, and I'm going to call out the other person as well. And I know you can handle the truth because you're one of the most blunt signs ever, especially if you have an Aquarian placement. You'll understand that nothing but the truth is what matters, even if it hurts, right? So let's do it. Let's do it because somebody needs to hear this. And I'm feeling in my energy, I'm feeling very frustrated. Almost like, the audacity. I'm getting the audacity to say it's me. There's a lot of point. When it's like, you know what? Both of you need to sit down and attend class. That's how I feel here. All right, we're going to pull on the Tower, Sagittarius. I'm going to pull on what shadows you are projecting, and I'm going to pull shadows of this other person that they are projecting. All right, what is Sagittarius projecting in this situation? And again, this is a collective message, right? What is Sagittarius projecting when it comes to this Tower? What is Sagittarius projecting when it comes to this Tower? Pride. What did I tell you, Sag? Pride. Six of Wands. True worth is measured by character, not accolades, not how hard it took you to get where you got. So some of you guys are dealing with pride issues. Guilt. You're also dealing with guilt. Release the chains of past mistakes and embrace the growth that they bring. Okay, some of you guys are so critical about yourself and decisions you've made, and probably why you project onto others, right? Maybe you judge other people because you've been through the fire and back, but not realizing that your sense of criticism is because you've criticized yourself, and you have to heal that, right? Let's get one more for Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius projecting? Depression. There goes the addiction. This too shall pass. Every storm brings a rainbow, right? Every storm, that's what I'm saying. There's a wind brings a rainbow. Sadness, hopelessness, and despair. And it's all masked. It is all masked. What is it masked behind? Pride. All right, let's get the other person involved. And your hidden energy is trauma. All right, what about the other person involved in the situation? What is this person projecting, Spirit? What is this person projecting in this connection? Because everybody, we're not going to call out just Sagittarius. We got to call out everybody involved. Because it wouldn't be fair. All right, the other person, Sag, dependency. Okay, that goes back to the addiction, the codependency. Find strength in self-sufficiency and empowerment. So somebody's depending on somebody else. Okay, this person could be depending on you, Sag, in whatever way. Let's see, we have desire. This person's also dealing with desires. Harness its power to manifest dreams, not delusions. Okay, so somebody here is depending on you for something, for a desire that they need to figure out if it's even attainable or if they need to just do it themselves. So there's somebody here clinging on to you for their own fixations, whatever that is. Then we have insecurity. Your worth is intrinsic and unchanging. So somebody here feels very insecure. So what's so interesting about this dynamic, Sagittarius, is that you hide your insecurities well. You do, pride. And I have a feeling that this person leans into you because of this level of pride. When in actuality, you're both suffering. You just hide it better. You hide it better, and this person depends on you. Hidden energy is judgment. Judge less, understand more. What was I saying about criticism? Someone's too judgy. And we have shame. Embrace your flaws. They are part of your unique story. And that came under this other person. So, Sag, who is this? Let's pull cards on that, because I feel like somebody needs to hear this. And if Sagittarius, if you cannot handle the truth, then you need to because there's no way in hell a Sagittarius can handle the truth. They're the biggest truth tellers ever. Okay? Let's see what's going on here. Sagittarius. What is one truth that Sagittarius needs to hear about themselves? What is one truth that Sagittarius needs to hear about themselves? And what is one truth this person that they're dealing with needs to hear about themselves? Oh, this card just came out. Cancer energy came out again. Hold on. What is this truth that somebody needs to hear? The other person that Sagittarius is dealing with. What is the truth that they need to hear about themselves? Okay, Sagittarius, you got the Eight of Wands. The truth you need to hear about yourself. There's a feeling of needing things, the rush, now. Okay? Lot of energy, lot of communication, very intense energy. Your energy projects very strongly, whether in communication or passion. Okay? So in their energy is like everything for you has to move very quick and very intense, especially around communication. Your person, what they need to know about themselves is the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. They think too much about their sense of status, especially around material things. Okay? So that's quite interesting. And hidden energy is the Justice in reverse, which means somebody, one or both of you, doesn't take accountability. It's a feeling of unfairness. So there's a need for honesty, a need to really look at two sides of the coin here. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to leave it there for you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.